What's up, guys? This is RAFA with RAFA Racing here. Thank you for watching. Again, as always, we are here outside of Hennessey's complex out in Sealy, Texas. Here to pick up a pretty cool car. It's a GT500 Venom1000. So it's a GT500, the Mustang, juiced up to 1,000 horsepower. So all the performance package that Hennessey does, I added into that to the collection, getting that on the track, see what we can do with it, and just kind of learn to drive a front engine car. American made, obviously, and super excited to see what it looks like. All right, so we're here inside of Hennessey space and the whole shop. This is the GT500. It's bright yellow. It's so loud. The car's gonna be a screamer. It's gonna be so loud. Super excited, as you guys will be able to see on the sides. The decals look just incredible. Love the car. It's got the track pack, 1,000 horsepower again. It's got the racing setup inside with the racing bucket seats, the light version of it. So really excited to get this guy on the track and see what he can do. All right, so we showed up. The car's still being worked on. We got some decals going on it, which look great, except they're about halfway done. So figured I'd give you guys a little bit of tour of the cars that Hennessey has sitting out here, and just let you guys see some of the crazy projects that they have. The SRTs, personally, I'm not a big fan of. I know they're mean, they have big horsepower and super quick cars, but they're also big, heavy, boat-like cars. Personally, I'm not a fan of them. People have their own taste, so I know people that actually absolutely love them, and they are pretty screamers on the track. So, you know, SRTs ones look crazy. Camaros, I like the old generation. I had the 2002 Camaro, my first car ever. Absolutely love the car. I like this model, but I certainly, you know, don't absolutely love it. It is a great car, and the Z01s are absolute beasts. I see them at the track all the time, and they're actually pretty hard to keep up with. Like, pretty good drivers can really push those cars, and I see them sliding around. They're really fun cars to drive, from what I can tell. And I actually do like this particular look in this black model. It's got some crazy arrow on it, so it looks pretty good. It's got that big ring in the back with that matte and the carbon hood, so it looks really cool. I've never driven one, but what I actually do like is the Mustangs, and this is a GT350. It's not the 500, but it actually looks pretty cool to me. And then the Hennessey 25-year anniversary badge on this guy right here looks pretty cool. So it's got the carbon splitter. This car, what Hennessey does is it takes them up to like 1,000, 1,100 horsepower. What I'm getting is the Venom1000, which is 1,000 horsepower in the GT500. So the GT500 is going to be actually a pretty fun, cool looking car. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. It's a loud color. I'm excited about the car. It wasn't something that I really was in my head thinking I wanted, but once we found the opportunity, partner up with Hennessey to get the car built and to start helping him move some of the cars and selling cars for them, and promoting the brand, which, you know, we're really big fans of being local here, and I've always been a big fan of Hennessey. And I think you guys kind of gathered that he's actually building an F5 for me, a Venom F5. So all the specs and all that details yet to come, but I'm super excited about the Venom F5 and really just a partnership with Hennessey in general. So the Z01 here looks really cool. It's got the stripes, the banner there. I believe this is the counterpart of the GT500. They call it the Exorcist, and I believe it is 1,000 horsepower. So again, just absolute screamers of cars, and I guarantee it's going to be crazy on the track. On this side here, they got a bunch of trucks lined up. The Velociraptors, the Mammoths, those are crazy TRXs. I kind of like that look of this one. This is a sand color versus just kind of, most of them seem to be black. This sand color actually looks pretty cool. I think it gives it just a different off-road feel to it. This guy right here is just an absolute beast. So that's the Mammoth 6x6, absolute beast. What they do is they take the stock TRX, cut the axle in the rear, extend it, and then everything in the back is actually completely built by Hennessey. So they do the transmission, 6x6, lift, tires, the entire chassis in the back, all built here in-house and here in Sealy, Texas. So as you can see, it's quite a bit of crazy stuff down here. I've never actually seen it in person. It is a freaking awesome truck, and I just can't imagine cruising down the street how nuts this thing looks compared to any other truck out there. So Again, they just do crazy projects, supercharge, make everything faster and quicker, louder. They do all the work here in house. So just a big lineup outside. It's kind of hot here in Texas. I'm sweating, but just in general, pretty cool to be out here and see some of the things that they're working on. All right, so the car is ready. We're gonna fire it for the first time. See how what a screamer this guy is. So the first thoughts in this thing is just an absolute beast. It is super comfortable, doesn't feel too stiff, doesn't feel like it's too bouncy or anything. It actually feels just right. The car feels nice and planted, but when you step on the car, it just actually screams, and you can feel how much power it has. I haven't even gotten over 4,000 or 5,000 RPM dealing with a little bit of traffic, but there alone, I could feel just how much power this thing has. You can feel the tires trying to grip, you can feel the throttle, you can feel the torque, the sound, the exhaust, everything feels pretty great from a view standpoint or a sitting position standpoint. It feels fine. It feels what a Mustang usually feels like, or what I'm used to, like a Camaro equivalent kind of feeling like too. Just, you know, it's sits back a little bit with just a big grille in the front. A little bit different than what I'm used to from the McLarens or even the Porsches. So something's gonna get, you know, I'm gonna have to get used to. Certainly the weight, I'm gonna have to get used to it with the big block in the front. But overall, this thing just screams, and I'm super excited to actually get to step on it in a little bit more open space. But for the time being, just enjoying it. Just, you know, that's just crazy. You just, yeah, that was like 4,000 RPM, so it just feels nuts. The car is just nasty. Yeah. And at first I wasn't sure if I liked this color in the yellow, but it actually is a pretty yellow. It's loud, it's cool. I think it's very fitting for the car, and with all of the decals and everything, I think it's gonna bring a lot of attention to the brand and to Hennessey and everything that we're working on. So the steering wheel is nice and big, maybe a little bit bigger than I'm used to. I'm not sure, but it has nice padded Alcantara here with some leather down at the bottom, so it's actually nice and soft, which is great. You know, I hate whenever you touch a steering wheel, it just burns your hands, right? So this here is not going to get anywhere close to warm. The inside of the car has got a bunch of carbon, so it's got the carbon package, the track package. So the bucket seats are what we're sitting on here. It's nice and comfortable. They hug you, you know, they have all this padding, they hug you nicely. It's pretty scary fast, and the sound of it is just incredible. Overall, the car feels real comfortable. Still has some of the panels that are more of a leather plasticky feel to them, but for the most part the car is really well built and designed. I think that we'll be able to create quite a bit of content and share more about the Hennessey brand, as well as the partnership and things that we're working with them, and then obviously just this beast here. The cool thing too is I don't have an American muscle car other than the FORD GT. Obviously that's more of a supercar, but I don't have a muscle car. Mustangs have always been sort of, you know, we kind of had one growing up. I had a Camaro SS, as I mentioned, as my first car, but as a family car at some point we did have a Mustang. It was a V6. It wasn't anywhere close to it, but it is a little bit, you know, reminiscent to my childhood and growing up in high school. My mom had one. I think my dad drove it a little bit, but mostly my mom. And yeah, it's pretty cool to actually get back in the seat behind one, and it being pretty much as bad of a Mustang as you can have. last thing, you're gonna have to hit his exhaust.
That's nice.
Bro, why are your knees so black and dirty? Do you shower?
No, I was filming on the ground. I'm gonna send you that. Yeah, dude, that's nasty. Nah, dude.
All right, so we're back at the club. It was about a 50-minute drive. Got to really enjoy the car. It's just an absolute beast. Once we get it more into open road, a little bit less traffic, or just on the track, we'll be able to really get to figure out how much the car really has behind it and what we can do with it. But obviously, I love the spec with the black and yellow. The decals, I think, look amazing. The wheels with the carbon fiber wheels, overall, everything is just an absolute beast. I love the car. Color wasn't really my favorite or my first choice, but now that I see it, I think it's really fitting, and I like it a lot. The car itself is just an American muscle that you can't really beat a GT500, and obviously with the Hennessey 1000 horsepower package, it's just an absolute beast. So super excited to have it added to the collection and get it ready to take it on the road and see what the car can do. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate the feedback in the comments. If you guys have any other comments or questions or like to see anything specifically about the car, always feel free to drop a comment and hit the subscribe button and notifications. Thank you for watching.